This is a HeadGum podcast.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to A Funny Feeling Podcast. I'm Betsy Sidaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy.
And prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling podcast. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Betsy B.
Marcy.
How are you?
Pretty good. I'm excited. We're in it. We're deep in spooky time.
It's spooky time. We have a very fun guest who's got some good old spooky stories for us.
I'm so excited.
So excited. You have heard her on the Bay Curious. She's a host on, is it KQED? Did I write that down? Oh my God. And author of the new book by the same name, Bay Curious. Welcome, Olivia Allen Price.
Whoa.
Thank you. Oh, gosh, I am so excited to be here, you guys. You have no idea.
Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, we're so stoked.
Oh man, tell us about both your show and your book.
Okay, so Bay Curious, the podcast, is a question and answer format show where people from the audience just send in questions, things they're curious about, things they're wondering about that have to do with the San Francisco Bay Area. And we assign a journalist to track down the answer and hopefully tell you in like a fun, delightful way. And yeah, we do it every week. New episodes every Thursday.
That's so cool.
What are some of your favorite questions, or do you have like just one that comes to mind that was like, oh, that was a fun episode? Or
yeah, you know, it's funny. The one that always comes first to mind is about the history of nudity in San Francisco, because you know we're known to let the sun shine where it doesn't normally shine up in these parts. So I don't know why that's the first one that always comes to my mind, but it is because it's kind of fun and saucy.
There used to be like nude beaches and stuff.
Oh, there still is a nude beach, Baker Beach.
Wait, what?
Betsy, we gotta go.
I gotta go. Excuse me.
Yeah, if you hate a tan line, like come to San Francisco.
Wow.
I mean,
it's
it
not
might be
the
65
sunniest place,
degrees.
but
yeah.
but you can still get a tan when it's not sunny out, right?
True. You'll just be shivering while you do it. But yeah. There's a couple places you can still be nude, and we have a lot of like nude festivals and fairs every year. Like you do have to get a permit from the city now if you want to be nude in large groups in public. But there was a time not that long ago that you could just kind of be nude whenever, wherever. And I remember actually one of my first like weeks in San Francisco. I just moved from Baltimore. I was excited about like California and all that California was in my mind, all the things that I'd seen in the movies. And I'm walking down the street and like, lo and behold, like two just like naked dudes. I think they may have had like the little cock cover, but like pretty much naked.
Just for sanitary reasons.
They roll up and I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted.
Oh, man.
Whoa, I didn't realize that nudity was so big there. Huh.
It's not as much today. It's definitely fallen off.
Right.
But yeah, as far as like cities where you can be naked, like San Francisco's probably like at the top of the list. Maybe behind some like European places. They'll probably always take the
Yeah.
For different reasons, I love San Francisco so much. Although I feel like it's been getting some bad press lately, but I still think it's like, I mean, I haven't been in a few years, but it is one of the cool, like,
It's a
like,
blast.
I mean, obviously I love LA, but I love going to San Francisco. It's always such like a mood there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like spooky season, the fog here just makes it always feel like a little mysterious, a little...
And dim sum.
I don't know.
Dim sum is
damp.
what I always think of dim sum too.
The
Like
dim sum. San Francisco was the first time I ever had dim sum, and it changed my world.
Did you have like the little carts where they bring it around to you?
Yes.
That's the best. That's the way to do it for sure.
Yeah, it was like,
Absolutely.
and I went back another time, this huge, like, I think it was called like New Asia. And it's like this gigantic banquet hall. And it was so good. I recommend it to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
for
incredible.
sure.
Is your book Bay Curious similar to your podcast?
It is. So in the book, it's 49 sort of short stories about the San Francisco Bay Area. It's like kind of a guidebook, but like if you've lived here for a long time, it's still there's a lot of fun stuff that you might not know that's in the book. And yeah, it's got some stuff that we haven't done on the podcast too. So if people listen to the podcast and they're really interested in the Bay Area and history and like weird stuff about it, like this is it's a fun read.
Oh, that's so cool. Also, one of my favorite movies is set in San Francisco, Diary of a
Mrs.
Teenage Girl.
Doubtfire.
Yes,
Oh.
and Mrs. Doubtfire. Have you seen Diary of a Teenage Girl?
No.
Oh, wow. It's actually based on a graphic novel, and it is directed by, I think, oh God, I'm going to get her name wrong. It's Emily Heller's sister, Muriel Heller, or I'm definitely
Cool.
getting it. And it is about like the sexual awakening of this teenage girl in, I want to say like the 70s on like Haight Street and stuff. And it's very cool because it's mixed medium, which you don't see a lot in like live action where it's like kind of, but anyway, it makes me think of like that era of, which I think of is so, like when we think of San Francisco and all the history and historical and like political history of like stuff going, like San Francisco was the birthplace of so much of our modern like liberation, I guess.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah. One of the episodes that we're doing this October is about the Dunsmuir Mansion, which was originally in the movie Burnt Offerings. Have you guys seen Burnt Offerings?
Dude.
From like the
fun.
70s?
Yeah.
It's actually one of the first horror movies I had ever seen as like a child, and I had no idea that it was actually set in this mansion in Oakland until like a couple of weeks ago.
That's did you go to it?
Yeah. So I didn't get to go inside, but our reporter did get a tour on the inside. I got to go see the exterior, which is where most of the stuff has been shot. It was also the scene of Phantasm, like outside the mortuary in Phantasm is also the same mansion, and like a dozen other horror movies since. It's kind of this beloved set, if you will, for horror films.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Ooh.
Well,
Hell
everyone
yeah.
will have to check out your podcast and your book. But we're going to get into our spooky stuff, which is, we always ask, what, if anything, do you believe about the paranormal?
I basically believe it all. Like
Nice.
I would have probably called myself a skeptic about most things in life. Like I'm a journalist by trade, and so that's kind of like the job is to be a skeptic. But I have this one experience from childhood that was paranormal that I still think about a lot, and it just has led me to kind of believe like there's definitely something to all of it. Like I don't think there could be this many people with this many stories that kind of have some like similar tones to them to have it just be something that we're like inventing for fun.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. Like it wasn't one caveman who's like, I'm going to say that I saw a caveman that died last year. I'm going to just say that and see what happens. Like it's like something's going on and it's been going on forever.
I also think it's like a lovely thing to think about. Like when you think about ghosts and the paranormal, I mean, so much of it is like, you know, kind of what happens after we die, and this idea of like connection with maybe a loved one who's passed on. Like, you know, we like to think about all this stuff as like, ooh, scary. But I actually think a lot of times it's like really comforting to think about, oh, like there is a spiritual world that is still here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I want to go ahead and hear your story about what happened
do
that made
it.
you feel this way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's, I think like 1997-ish, 6, 7, sometime in like mid to late 90s. And I am at my grandmother's house. She lived in St. Albans, West Virginia on B Street. And her house was in like a regular suburban neighborhood. You know, there's like a house on every lot, except for one lot.
Ew. No way.
The lot right next to her house was empty. There was no house there. And I don't know why there was no house there. There was a house on literally every lot in this neighborhood, but except for this one. As a kid, I loved that because it meant I had this huge grassy expanse that I could like run and play, and we would play tag and do, round off backflips and stuff, because that's what you do when you're, 10 years old. You have that kind of agility.
Yep.
And so I loved having this empty lot next to her house. And one evening about dusk, my little brother, who's like 7 years younger than me, and I are out there and we're catching fireflies.
Cute.
Which, although in hindsight, I will say this is like the most horrific part of this tale, because like, I don't know if you've ever caught a firefly in a jar, but it like immediately dies. So basically we're like,
oh yeah, this is not cute, but it is quintessential like summertime stuff. But yeah, totally. I guess they suffocate. Is that what happens?
Even with some holes in there, like they like basically immediately suffocate. So it's like you're basically just like committing murder time and time again of these beautiful little glowing bugs. Anyway, that aside, we're out there, we're catching fireflies. It's a grand time. It's just like one of those beautiful summer evenings where the weather is just perfect. And I remember just thinking like, wow, this is really nice. And my brother and I were kind of like twirling around as we catch these fireflies, and we'd gotten like a little far apart, like maybe 60 feet or so. Like I can still see him, but like we're not like talking really. We're not in the same space. And all of a sudden, kind of coming out from a tree that was sort of against the house on the other side of the empty lot, appears this man. And he's wearing overalls. He's kind of got a hunch to his back. It's an older gentleman. He might have on plaid. Like he's kind of what you imagine when you think about like, I don't know, like redneck in West Virginia. And he comes out kind of from behind this tree. And I remember specifically with a golden retriever.
Oh.
And they are both white, completely white, semi-translucent. And it is as if they are like emitting their own light source. They are glowing. And you can see around them in a way that you can't see in the rest of the dark field. And I kind of see him. I'm like, whoa, first off. But then he speaks. And he says, go on, get out of here. You shouldn't be here. It's not safe.
Oh my God.
And my brother and I, again, who are like 60 feet apart or so, both turn on our heels, sprint into my grandmother's house without saying a word to each other. So I know we both saw it at the same time. And once we get into my grandmother's house, we run to the dining room, which has this bay window that kind of overlooks that side yard, that empty lot. And we kind of nose up and we look through the window, and there's nothing there. And I just feel so certain that I saw what I saw.
Well, and your brother was there too, right?
Yes. And he also feels certain he saw what we saw. So we had these experiences, like the same experience, but it was kind of apart. So I feel, again, like really secure that we didn't one of us didn't plant it on the other person, right?
Right. It's so specific too, where it's like, it has to be something. I wonder what he was like warning you, or like, what does that guy and his dog know about that place?
I know. And I've wondered, like, I actually looked a couple years ago, was like, I need to get to the bottom of this. Like, I need to, I'm a journalist. I have some investigative skills. Like, I should look and see, like, was there a house there that burned down, or like something that would like make the story better, to be quite honest. And nothing. Like, I can't find a record of there ever being a house there. It was actually like, there's like a water pumping facility across the street, and it may have been like an access point to there's like a river behind my grandmother's house. It may have like been a water thing that they left that lot empty. But
did you tell your grandma?
Yeah, I did. I told my grandma, and she was, I don't remember her being particularly fazed by it. I mean, I remember her kind of responding maybe as if like, a kid tells you a story that's dumb, basically.
Right. Like making dinner, just kind of like, oh, okay, really cool. really
Yes.
cool. Like
Awesome.
yeah,
Totally.
okay, great,
Yeah.
sounds good. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember her not responding in like a specific way.
Whoa.
I did ask my dad about this actually last night because I was like just trying to remember some of the details, and I was like, I've never asked my dad about it, and he grew up in that house. So I wondered if, maybe he'd ever had an experience. And he didn't with this specific ghost, but he was like, I'm not surprised. He's like, there's ghosts all over West Virginia.
Yeah.
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 So
yeah, I watched this documentary where they're like, there's a vortex in West Virginia where a bunch of stuff like comes out of it. So yeah, so I believe it.
And
I believe it.
Those mountains are too old.
yeah,
Too
old.
old.
They've been inhabited a long time. And my dad was saying like West Virginia is like strangely dark because there are so many hills, and you're always down in the ravine of a hill. It just feels dark all the time there. So.
Yeah. Whoa. Ooh.
And so many caves too.
Mm-hmm.
Too many things. Too many things.
Too many things. That is wild. And thank goodness your brother was there. Right? To be
truly.
like, you saw it and heard it? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
It's not just me.
Yeah.
'Cause it would be
I
easy
think
to
if he
chalk
wasn't there,
up.
I could convince myself like, oh, it was just like something in my brain, or
Right.
maybe I dreamed
Or a
it,
dream or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, very easy to be like, oh, I was a kid. Who knows? Or am I conflating like stories or something? But
It's
yeah.
interesting too because Betsy, I saw you get excited when she said it was a golden retriever, which, but it feels like almost like an apparition appeared to make you like that was part of like a ploy to make you less afraid while it was giving you a warning.
Oh.
yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way, but I
Oh,
do,
that's
and I do still
good.
love golden retrievers. So I have a little
Yeah,
soft
I
spot.
feel it's like just come as a whole golden retriever, not a dude, not an
Well,
old dude with one.
Harder. I
And be
mean,
like,
I think
"Look
it's
out!"
a golden retriever was like, go away, go.
Then I'd listen.
Or
Yeah.
would you go pet it?
I would go pet it. I
Yeah,
would try
see,
to pet
you'd be
it
like,
for
what are you
sure.
doing, silly beans?
Come here.
No one's ever heard of a scary golden retriever. There's not like evil golden
No.
retrievers out there. They're all just like soft and gentle to their core.
They
Yeah.
just love ya. They just love ya. Oh,
Now,
Whoa.
you grew up in Baltimore, right? Or you?
North Carolina, we moved all over.
Okay.
We were everywhere. Yeah.
Carolina.
Because I was
Where
like,
in
I
North
was-
Carolina, if you don't mind me asking?
A town called Elon. There's
Hmm.
a college there, Elon University.
There's so many colleges in North Carolina, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the main
Everywhere.
industry there is educating people
Yeah.
and giving them student loans forever.
Yeah, yeah, cool. I love North Carolina.
Yeah. It's good.
It's
good
rad.
place.
so you were telling us before that you had some San or Bay Area specific stories too that you wanted to share with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to stay on the ghost thread for
I
now?
mean,
we
let's
can
start there and then see where it takes us.
So San Francisco, I mean, because there's so much history here, I think because the town, like when it first developed kind of around the gold rush, it was a rough place. Like, and it was mostly dudes. Like it was like, I think 9 out of 10 people were like mining dudes who were out here.
shit.
And so it was a place that you could come and like get into trouble. It was kind of like lawless for quite some time. When we think about like the Wild West, like, we might not have had, I don't know what you think of in like the Southwest, but
Right.
it was very much like kind of this wild place for quite some time. And
I
there were
only think of like train robberies too when I think of
Lots of train rides.
just train robberies.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. All that stuff. So in the 1860s, there were lots of reports of sort of hauntings around San Francisco. And one of the most notorious places that comes up like time and time again is around Kearny Street, which runs through like the North Beach neighborhood and kind of into like Chinatown. It's kind of like in the center of the city. And it's like really where like the oldest part of the city kind of developed. And there was apparently a poltergeist there known as the Kearny Street Ghost.
Oh.
And this ghost was mostly a trickster. So you would be like maybe walking to work in the morning and your hat would fly off, even though there was no wind.
Oh.
Or you would reach in your pocket for your wallet and it would have moved to a bag you were carrying.
Oh.
Or maybe you hear a whisper and you turn around and there's nothing there. So it was a lot of it was kind of like tricky little pranks, if you will, on walkers by. But one day, the local newspaper receives a letter from a man named Albert Crumb. And he wrote in the letter that he believes the Kearney Street ghost lives at his house. And he said, come speak with me.
Whoa.
So the newspaper deploys a journalist who you might recognize this guy's name. It's Mark Twain.
Whoa.
We have the same birthday. I know
Do
him.
you?
What? I didn't know he made it to San Francisco.
Yeah, so he spent some time in San Francisco working as a journalist. And so he ultimately published the tale that I will now tell you. What he goes and learns from Mr. Albert Crumb. So Albert reports that he cannot keep a maid for more than a day because the same thing keeps happening. Basically, the first day of work, she'll show up. He kind of shows her around. She might do a little bit of light dusting, just kind of, she's kind of getting settled because this is like a live-in maid. Mr. Crumb is, kind of a wealthy guy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So she does a little bit of work that first day, and then she goes up to the maid's quarters in the evening, which is up a flight of stairs, kind of off a little bit privately in its own like nook of the house. And she closes the door and gets into bed and turns out the lantern. And as soon as the lantern is turned off, a man appears in the darkest corner of the room. He's tall, he's slender, again, completely white and glowing. And he begins to walk towards her. And as he's walking towards her in bed, he starts to pick up things off the floor, like a pair of shoes or a dress, and throws it at the maid who's in the bed. Now, usually at this time, the maid starts screaming because this is terrifying. And Albert Crumb, in another wing of the house, hears her, comes up the stairs, opens the door with his lantern, turns on the light, and the ghost disappears. Now, Albert Crumb says, of course, generally the maid leaves the very next day because they're like, no way, Jose, like I am out of here.
Right.
So this happens time and time and time again until one day a maid named Bridget comes to work for Albert Crumb. And she goes up to the maid's quarters, closes the door, gets into bed, turns out the lantern, but she doesn't have quite the same inclination as all the other maids before her. So when the ghost reveals himself, instead of screaming, Bridget is just paralyzed. She doesn't make a sound. She doesn't move. She just freezes basically on the bed. And the ghost, is throwing things at her, shoes, things off the dresser, like whatever they can find, and keeps walking closer and closer and closer to the bed. Bridget doesn't move. Eventually, the ghost makes it all the way to the bed and sits down on the bed, and she can feel the weight, full weight, like a human body is there on the bed. And the ghost starts making this retching sound, like something is in its stomach, and it's kind of like, and ultimately the ghost reaches down through his mouth into his stomach.
Ew.
And pulls out something wet and kind of sticky.
Oh my God.
That's my least favorite kind of wet, by the way.
Wet, sticky, nasty.
It might be my favorite kind, but we'll talk later.
That's a different podcast.
And the ghost places this wet, sticky object on Bridget's pillow.
Ew.
And then he starts retching again, and he repeats the process and pulls out another wet and sticky object. And he does this 9 times until there are 9 objects on the pillow of Bridget. Once he gets the 9th thing out, the ghost groans with like relief, like, oh, thank goodness. Gets off the bed and walks back into the corner of the room and just disappears, never to be seen again.
What?
At this point, the spell is broken off Bridget. She can now scream and she no longer is stuck like stone there. And so she begins screaming. Albert Crumb comes down, from his quarters, heads up the stairs to her place, thinking like, oh gosh, here we go again. Like, I just can't keep a maid. He opens the door with his lantern. And at the same time, Albert Crumb and his maid see what the ghost has left behind on the pillow. And they find 9 dead, fluffy kittens, each with a bloody hand mark on them.
What the fuck?
What?
That's the story.
Ew.
That is insane.
What?
That's the story. Mark Twain.
That's wild.
Everybody.
Mark Twain. Oh my God. Ew. That's awesome.
I tell you what.
That's nasty and awesome. I did not think it was kids.
No, I wouldn't. I literally was like, that's a tonsil stone, and that is Mr. Crumb coming in there and being the weirdo and be like, I don't know why my mates keep leaving. Me and the ghost are never in the room at the same time. I was like, I know exactly your game, Mr. Crumb.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Allie.
Marcy.
You thought it was Mr. Crumb throwing that stuff.
Yeah, then he ate a bunch of kittens. No wonder he had a tummy ache. You can't eat that many kittens. That is so disturbing. And then I also was thinking that Bridget, that name comes from the goddess Bridget, which is in, I think, Celtic lore, right? That I was like, she's tough as hell. You ain't gonna scare Bridget. She's gonna sit there and watch you barf up all your little fur balls. That's disgusting. Is that what Gremlins is based on? I hate it.
That is so gross. So was he then able to have a maid after that?
Did she stay?
know.
My God, what are her diaries like?
That's where Mark Twain's story has end, but I think we can decide what happens next, right? Like that's the fun of it. So I think maybe Bridget, she was tough and she was like, you know what? This 9 kittens, it's kind of weird, but like I'm sticking around.
But I'm ready to, I want to clean. I'm here to clean.
I'm here to
excited to clean. Let's clean.
Have this sexy little outfit.
Awesome.
I might as well go.
Like, I wonder if there's still weird stuff happening on that street. I bet there is,
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, it's one of the oldest parts of town.
Yeah.
A lot of the buildings there date back to like 1906 or even some before that may have survived the earthquake and fire that devastated most of the city.
What a bad double whammy that was.
Oh, yes, totally. But it was, it's actually one of the reasons that I think San Francisco is as haunted as it is.
Yeah.
Because there's some trauma. There's some trauma that happened at that event that I think is still lingering.
Yeah, just who knows what to do with that energy? Where's it go? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's another story that I don't know all the details of, just to stay on the animal theme that we kind of have found ourselves on.
Yeah.
But apparently there's like a herd of like cows, like a ghost herd of cows that died in the 1906 earthquake and fire that can still be found like roaming around the city sometimes. You'll just like turn a corner and see like a ghost herd of cows.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
That would be my favorite
That's the ghost
thing.
I want to see is like a bunch of cows, a golden retriever, 9 kittens, dead.
I don't want to see 9 dead kittens.
I'll pass on the 9 kittens too.
Honestly,
I love a herd of cows. They're really sweet.
That would really scare me a lot too, because here's the thing about cows. They're very large.
Yeah.
And they could still do what they want to do. They could still like trample you if they
Stampede.
like.
Totally.
So I don't trust any animals. People are like, I have a friend who is always joking about or laughing at me because I'm too afraid of animals. But they can do whatever they like. They have no laws. They don't have big rules about what they're allowed to do. They just kind of can act however they please at any moment. So you gotta watch out.
Your house is surrounded by animals that you are taking care of.
And I'm cautiously afraid of them all.
Okay.
I'm afraid of the cats that live in my house.
Yeah.
You should. This morning, Buster scratched my shoulder and I had blood running down my back.
Marcy.
It was because I tried to hold him too tight. I was just trying to pick him up and put him on my chest, and he was like, "No!" and then scratched me. It didn't mean to.
Okay, here's a dark question, but I feel like you guys will go there with me.
Yes.
If you were to die in your house, which of your animals would eat you first?
Honey, the one who doesn't let me touch her. She would definitely take a little nibble first.
Yeah, she'd be stoked to eat you.
Yeah, and then Buster would gobble me whole. I think he's so big.
I guess Wilma would eat me. Wilma's a golden retriever I live with, and she rules. She would eat me. It would take her a while. She would have to really be starving, but she would be like, okay, all right, let's go.
Do you have animals?
I don't, but I feel like my 2.5-year-old would eventually get to me. He already kind of does. He'll take a nibble sometime. Little
yes,
little love bite. Yeah, we
chomp.
also have a long history of cannibalism in this state. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
I read a really fun book. I feel I talked about it on this, but it's called The Hunger by Alma Katsu, and it's about it's like historical fiction, so it's about the Donner Party, but then adds a spooky element to it.
I
if
would
you're
love
looking
that.
for a fun, it's a blast. I also just read one by her called The Deep that was like Titanic and the Britannic. What it was like 2 timelines, and it was spooky. It was great. If you're looking for some fun, they're very fun reads.
You have others. You said we were starting with Ghosty. So
Starting with ghosts. So there's something I just like want to talk about because I feel like this is not talked about as much when it comes to San Francisco and like kind of crazy things that have happened. And it's an observation that people might make when they come here, but there's not a lot of cemeteries. There's not like really any cemeteries.
Whoa.
There's like a historic one, I think, in Mission Dolores. There's one in the Presidio, but technically that's federal land. It's not San Francisco proper. But by and large, there's no cemeteries here.
Whoa.
And that's because today it's actually, you cannot be buried in San Francisco. It is illegal to bury a body in San Francisco. It's been, banned in the city for decades. But it wasn't always that way. In the gold rush era, there were lots and lots of cemeteries, specifically over in the western part of the city, which kind of populated a lot later. It was like really windy and sandy and not very desirable over there initially. So people were like, let's put all the dead bodies like out there. No one's ever going to want to live in that part of San Francisco. So we had like probably like 8 or 9 cemeteries kind of in the center and western part of the city that took up anywhere from like 60 to 70 square blocks of kind of what the city looks like today.
God.
So massive, really massive cemeteries, especially when you're talking about a city that is only 7 by 7 square miles, pretty small. As the population of San Francisco starts to grow, however, it starts to grow west, and those western parts of the city become more and more desirable. We kind of tame some of the sand that was out there and just make it a little bit nicer and more inhabitable. And so eventually you get to a scenario where people have built houses on all sides of these cemeteries, and the streetcars that once ran through San Francisco are having to like wind their way around these cemeteries. So people start to like feel that these cemeteries are kind of a nuisance. They were also not very well kept. So like, people would go in and kind of vandalize and nobody would like fix it up. Apparently it was like common that young people like for shits and giggles would like exhume bodies and like play with skulls.
Rude.
Oh my
Actually
God.
rude as hell.
Super rude.
Oh my God.
Super gross.
I could see myself in like the early 1900s being like, there's nothing to do. let's go dig up a skull.
No.
Yeah.
And, like,
Who are
kick
you,
it
Ed
around.
Gaines? Please.
No, I'm just a bored, like,
Yeah,
Teenager.
right.
person
You're like,
where there's nothing to do except, like, they're like, read the Bible, and it's like, oh, I
yeah,
don't
right.
do that.
You're making a nipple belt and then chomping on the end of it because you love eating
No,
people.
I'm not. You're the one talking to us about cannibalism, you freak. You freak. I know what those headphones are made of.
But
Butt cheeks.
Two butt cheeks.
on your
just
ears.
2 little cheeks on my ears.
They work great.
They
though.
do. They feel amazing too.
Sorry. Keep
So
going.
soft and leathery.
Yeah.
Sorry, where was it? Anyway,
So kids are they're exhuming bodies
Oh,
for
yes.
fun.
kids are exhuming bodies. Like, it's just like a mess. Also, there become all these like health concerns. People are like really into like the gases that come off dead bodies are going to kill us. There were all these like newspaper articles and a lot of fear mongering about like how the proximity to the dead was like basically going to kill us all and give us like the malignant plague or something.
Whoa.
So the public opinion like really turns on these cemeteries. And in 1937, the city actually passes a measure to evict them. So they all have to get out. So over the course of like the next handful of years, basically hundreds of thousands of bodies are exhumed from San Francisco and taken down to a town called Colma, which was basically incorporated specifically to be a necropolis for San Francisco. You can still go today, and there's like literally nothing but cemeteries, floral shops,
Whoa.
tombstone shops. Like, if it's not cemetery adjacent, like, it doesn't live in Colma.
Whoa.
And yeah, they took all these bodies down there, and there were some like screwed up things that happened. For one, they would move the body for free, but if you wanted the headstone moved, you had to pay. So a lot of the bodies were moved and like put ultimately in a mass grave because they weren't able to find the survivors to see if they wanted the headstone moved.
Oh my God.
So there are these mass graves with like thousands of bodies in them in Colma. A lot of the tombstones that didn't get moved were used in like city works projects, actually specifically like at Ocean Beach, which is like the main big beach on the western side of San Francisco. There's a big seawall, and a lot of the rocks used in that seawall are actually tombstones.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of interesting. That's kind of cool.
That's a cool fact to know.
Yeah.
I gotta go to that and tell people.
And
Grab people. Did you know those are tombstones?
No.
Why are you grabbing me?
Because you need to know.
You're naked.
Yeah, we're San Francisco, baby.
So that happened. And then also like a lot of the bodies were like in all different conditions, right? Because this is like, I don't know, some of the bodies were probably not even in caskets when they were put in the ground.
Oh.
So a lot of the bones were just kind of like put in boxes and like thrown in this big mass grave down in Colma.
Oh my God.
And then the final like kind of creepy thing is that, you know, obviously record keeping, turn of the century, like not the best.
Yeah.
So they basically missed like a ton of bodies. And to this day, like anytime they do some kind of like big project around where a cemetery used to be, they will find bodies. Notably, I think it was, I can't remember how long ago now, but the Legion of Honor, one of the art museums in the city, did like this big seismic retrofitting, and they had to like be digging super deep into the earth to make sure, you know, not everything's going to crumble when the big one hits. And they found 750 bodies.
Oh my God.
That had to be such a bad day for that construction crew of being like, oh my God.
Another one. That's wild that the city missed that many. I guess they're just kind of like, we don't give a shit, man.
Yeah, no one knows these
Okay.
people. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Yes,
It's all the
Right.
same.
someone kept passing the buck on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my problem. Someone else will
Whoa.
deal with this. Oh, man.
Yeah. But it's definitely creepy. Like, I think about it when I'm in the areas that I know the cemeteries are at. Like, I wonder
Of
how many
course.
bodies are beneath my feet right
are
now.
still there. That happened in Chicago with like a big cemetery, you know, at turn of the century or whatever, where it like stuff's and once again, here's something that I read years ago. Who knows if I'm getting it correct? But where like stuff started seeping into the water supply from the cemetery, where they're like, I guess we better let's get it out of here, because it is like they didn't think the city was going to get this big and populated, and then it is like, uh-oh.
I mean, Betsy, have you heard about the scandal going on in your home state?
Colorado? What's happening?
Oh my God. They have this funeral home that has, they just found like 125 bodies, like just improperly stored is what they're saying right now. But it was like, you drive by, this place looks abandoned, it's in disarray, there's weeds everywhere, and they had just been stacking like
what
no one
for?
really, they're not really saying, it was just a funeral home that was not doing anything. And apparently you don't have to have any, like, there's no oversight in Colorado for mortuaries or morticians. So they can kind of literally just do whatever the fuck they want. So this guy who owned this funeral home and was taking all the money from these families and whatever, like, they're not even positive they can charge him with crimes because there isn't
There's
regulation
no laws,
there.
right?
I mean, probably like maybe fraud for like the families or whatever, but it was just like a horrifying scene. They were like the smell coming from it was awful. Like it wasn't even just like a mass grave situation. It was just like they in fact, details are not really coming out that explicitly, and it's just other morticians who are kind of speculating of what they think is going on there. Are you looking it up right now?
No, I can't.
Oh,
I'm so curious where in Colorado it is.
Oh God.
Just like
that is so gross.
Horrifying.
Is it just like bodies in a room?
I mean, that's what they don't really even know, other than improper storage of over 125 bodies.
Improper
That sounds
storage.
Just
my
Are you
God.
looking it up, Betsy, or no?
Gross.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Is any headline, because it just happened, I think, in the past like week or so, of like Huh?
Oh.
She's just reading to herself.
This Colorado family wanted a green cremation for their mother. Now they wonder if they really received her ashes. Oh my God.
Yeah, what did he get? Like a bag of sand, you know?
Yeah, right. Okay, whatever. I'll look this up later.
It's crazy though. Yeah, it happened in like Tennessee a few years ago too, or like maybe a decade ago.
I remember hearing about that. Oh my God.
But that at least, I mean, not at least, they found a mass grave. This, it seems like they weren't even burying them. They were just kind of like, I don't know they got overwhelmed. That's what happened. A procrastinator started a funeral home and they got overwhelmed. And it was just the worst possible profession to do that. Anyway.
Ooh. This leads me to, I actually have a question now.
Okay.
When you go, what's going to happen to you when you guys go? What's your plan?
I want to either be cremated or become a tree.
Oh.
You know that thing? I don't know much about it. I heard about it. I was like, yeah, I want to be that. How about you?
They like put you in the ground and put a tree on top?
Like a little pod or something that then grows into a tree.
That's
I don't know if that's legal here yet, but I've heard
Marcy!
about that. It should be
Come
though.
on.
Hopefully the laws will. It might be legal because there was.
I have no idea.
Have you ever?
Well, it's definitely legal in Colorado because it sounds like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they just do. They're like, I guess.
No rules.
I think it was this book I read, The Curious Life of Cadavers, and they talk about, or was it Spooked? It's the same author. I want to say her name is like something Roach is her last name, but she has a book called Spook, Bonk, and Stiff. And I think it's in the book Stiff. And there's, I forget what, I want to say like Scandinavian country where they're just like, we ran out of space a long time ago. So they like basically cryogenically freeze the body and then use vibrations to shatter it so that it's all these like very fine pieces. And then they use that in compost to like for trees and stuff. But I think the tree pod is another thing, but the similar idea that you become part of this other organism. I like that.
Right. What about you, Olivia?
I hadn't really thought too much about it, but I like your idea. I might become a tree. That sounds
Let's
good. Like
become a
if you have to
tree.
like reincarnate like as something, like a tree sounds
Yeah.
That sounds kind of
good
nice.
as any, right?
I think that I shall
Marcy,
never
what are your
see
plans?
a dead body as beautiful as a tree, right?
Right.
I mean, that's what I would. I don't plan on dying until the earth is destroyed. So, either like wherever I lay, that's where I be, or put me in a tree. Did that rhyme? Great.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Either we're all going out when I go, is what I'm thinking.
Her last will and testament. So like in 10 years or so, probably.
10 years, we're all gone.
I feel I've talked about this on the podcast, but real quick, I did an Ass Cat, which is an improv show, and we had a guest who was a mortician. And she was so rad. She's like a mortician here in LA. She was so cool. And usually, like, we get stories and then do improv off of it. And then after our first half, we came back and it was just a Q&A from the audience, because everybody was like, we don't give a shit about improv. We want to know. And even like us
funny.
performing, we're like, I just kind of want to ask questions. This is so cool. And somebody asked her what her plan, like what her desire is. And she wanted to be left in nature to let like animals
Scavenge.
get
Oh,
her. And that was kind of cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just like composting, right? They just like put you out in a field with like
Yeah, and it's kind of like, okay,
little
come
dust on top
dude.
or something.
Yeah,
Keep the smell down.
Some like
yeah, exactly.
gravy to attract the.
Attract the
There
bears.
you go,
Yeah,
bears.
yeah.
Dig in.
Oh man. I mean, what? I guess this is a creepy podcast. That's the point. We're all gonna die. Everyone,
We're getting creepy.
everything we're talking about is death related. So,
Yeah. This is podcast.
did you have any other Bay Area?
I do have some
stories?
others though. I did have another question for you guys. I
Okay.
mean, we were, I think San Francisco is a super spooky city and has like its fair share of haunted places. But I wonder if like I don't spend much time in LA. Like, could you tell me, are there some highlights of spooky LA that people should check out?
I mean,
Spooky LA.
God, there are so many, like, we have the Cecil Hotel that I forget what it's called now, where the terrible video of Alyssa Lamb, that mysterious death, but they also have so many other mysterious deaths.
Lots of hotels downtown.
Lots of
Every
hotels.
single one is like, this place is haunted
I mean,
by the Black Dahlia.
yeah, then we have in my neighborhood, we have the Jaws house, which is there's a podcast about it called, not about the house, but a podcast called, oh God.
What's the Jaws house?
The Jaws
wait,
house
no.
is the
Jacob Womack used to live right across from it.
yes, it's like
It's-
this Lloyd, is it Frank Lloyd
Or his son.
yeah, one of
It's-
the right designers, and it's this really cool like Mayan inspired architecture, but
A
they're
season of America's Next Top Model. That's where they stayed for a season.
that's nuts.
Isn't
It's
that
nuts.
funny?
But people believe that the could be a possible serial killer did inhabit that place at some time.
This one doctor who, like, his son is pretty sure is a serial killer and like killed
He was a surgeon
Black
or something. Or yeah, he was like
yeah.
I want to say the root of all evil
Ooh,
maybe is the
that
podcast.
podcast?
Yeah, it's really fucked up.
It's intense.
And
It
then
like made me sick.
just like
sometimes.
all of like
I
the
had to stop it
Hollywood
a couple
stuff.
of
Like I
times.
mean, they say like every theater is haunted. I've heard that my
Griffith
whole life.
Park?
Yeah.
There's a curse on Griffith Park.
Oh,
Supposedly.
what
Yeah,
happens?
yeah. And the Hollywood sign. I can't remember. It's something classic about like the dude who like, oh boy, the dude who like owned the land first did something bad and then like
We've covered
I'm not
it, but
doing it any justice. I'm messing it up. Something about like a lady's gonna hunt. I don't know, but
and then
something
there
like
people
that.
have heart attacks on this bench there. That something like there was like a murder at a like a lover's kind of lane point, whatever. I can anyway.
We don't do.
We don't recall. We hear a lot of stories, and we have stopped retaining all of the information. Unfortunately,
Fair.
What about San Fran? Because I believe you that it's probably pretty up there on the hauntings.
Yeah. I mean,
the Bay Area in general is like wild.
Yeah, I think, similar to West Virginia, which we were talking about earlier, like the hills, there's something spooky about the hills. There's something spooky about the fog. It's one of the older cities, in the West. So, it's relative age, I suppose. Like, think about even the East Coast and it's like LOL. But its relative age makes it kind of creepy. One place I haven't really explored much, but I know is super creepy and supposedly haunted is Alcatraz.
Right.
Yeah, I've done like just a personal trip out there, but I want to get out there and like do some reporting at some point about all the stories of Alcatraz, because that place is, just creepy.
Just like the idea of just being like, let's put a prison in the middle of water.
Yeah.
Like that's so like, I don't know what the term is for it, but so like
extreme,
a book or something. Like so just not real life. And then it's like, no,
it does seem like a comic book thing. Like that Batman would put all the prisoners, in Alcatraz. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, an island that's like beautiful aside from the prison, like the grounds are amazing. You have this beautiful view of like the Golden Gate Bridge and the Bay Bridge. Like it's primo stuff out there.
Wow.
Just has this old prison. And because, it's old, obviously they're not, they're like maintaining it as like a state park, I think, or maybe it's a national park. I can't remember what federation or whatever is kind of protect or keeping it going now. But like there's paint peeling, there's like signs of decay that just make it feel like extra eerie out there. And lots of stories of ghosts, and of course like a lot of people died out there. So anyway, Alcatraz is could be its like own chapter if we were to do like another Bay Curious book someday.
And you're just creeping up towards the Pacific Northwest. Like, the farther north you get up there, the more, I don't know, I feel like it just gets spookier and spookier.
Yeah. Also to the south, like one of the spookiest places that I feel like is sort of a Bay Area export is the Winchester Mystery House.
Oh, yes.
Down in San Jose. Do you guys know much about the Winchester Mystery House?
I did a tour a couple of years ago. About it. And they kept during this tour, they kept being very much like, but we're not sure if she was super into the paranormal. But right over here is her seance room. And every night at 1 a.m., the bell will toll 13 times. And it's like, guys, just be like, she's freaky, man. But that's like kind of it. Like, it was fun. It's cool.
It's a super cool place. And the people who are running it, like you can tell they're not really sure like the line to walk between like, is this a Halloween attraction? Is this a historical house? They're like kind of figuring it out. But I can tell you a little bit about the Winchester Mystery House. So this is one that we actually covered in our current series that's running on the podcast. It's called Boo Curious. Of course, we're normally Bay Curious, but for the month of October, every Thursday, our episodes are like, something kind of spooky or eerie or scary about the Bay Area. Cool. So our very first episode in the series was about the Winchester Mystery House. Yes. And it was, I can't say built, but it was added on to by a woman named Sarah Winchester. And her last name, Winchester, will give you a clue where all of her money came from. She was the heir of the Winchester rifle fortune, and the Winchester rifles were like kind of a notorious gun in American history. I don't know a lot about guns, but I think it was one of the earliest like repeating rifles. So you didn't have to like pull a trigger every time to shoot a bullet.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah. So like kind of the modern war machines we have today, like that was like one of the first ones. So she has sort of this devastating early life, where she lost a child that was only 5 weeks old. Shortly thereafter, she loses her father-in-law, her husband dies, and her sister die, all within like a couple of years.
Oh my God.
So she's just in this, this low point, and apparently seeing sort of a psychic or somebody to kind of guide her and just like help her kind of navigate all that has happened to her. And supposedly this psychic advises her to like go to California and build a house that can appease the ghosts of all these people killed by Winchester rifles, because you are having all these things bad in your life happen because of basically this, this dirty money you have that a lot of people have died to give you effectively.
Yeah.
So story goes, she follows this advice from this psychic, comes out west, buys a pretty modest farmhouse in San Jose, and then begins to expand it and expand it and expand it. And it's said that she wanted to always have construction going on in the house because all that like hammering would kind of keep some of her personal demons away.
Whoa.
But then at the same token, she was apparently a spiritualist, so was trying to connect with her family members who had died. So yeah, she would hold these seances.
She couldn't decide which way she wanted to go.
Yeah, the legend kind of has some contradiction in it. So yeah, she was like maybe trying to reach out to some of the ghosts. She was maybe trying to appease the ghosts and get them like lost in this house. Because if you've been in the house, it is, well, for one, I will say massive. It's 24,000 square feet. Good. It has 160 rooms, 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 47 stairways, many of which will like lead up to basically the ceiling. They don't actually go anywhere. They just like go up. A lot of the windows will like open into walls. There's just like a lot of things in the house that like really don't make sense and are very disorienting. All the staircases are not like a standard height or rise.
Yes.
So you're like wandering around the house and you never really know what floor you're on. Like you'll look out the window and you're like, I could be on the 3rd floor. I could be on the 7th floor. Like really don't know. Because you've probably been up a bunch of like funky staircases to get there. 17 chimneys, 13 bathrooms. So yeah, this place just like sprawls and sprawls and sprawls and like continues to make no sense.
Yeah.
And the sort of aristocratic folks of San Jose, the other rich people around San Jose, are very curious about Sarah Winchester and her house because she is not like putting herself out there socially. She's like very standoffish. She kind of does her own thing in her house. They invite her to like, fancy rich people stuff. And she's like, no, I'm like really not interested in being a part of the community here.
Wow. I bet that drove people nuts.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's
where it's like, all we do is gossip anyways. Like, what is she doing in there? Like, oh man.
Totally. Wow. And there's definitely some truth to like, if especially with this era, if you have like a woman who's not trying to like explain herself to people.
Yes.
Suspicious.
Yes.
Do not trust her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
To be fair, she is being very weird too.
She's making big weird moves.
She's doing some weird stuff.
Weird moves.
She's doing some weird stuff.
Yeah. Like, we can't be like, it was unfair that they gossiped. There was something to talk about.
Oh, absolutely. But I bet they were like, I want in that house so bad, dude.
I brought you some muffins.
Everything. Yeah. It's the wrong door.
Which is the front door?
Yeah, which one's front?
I know. She actually, so she spent out her like later years actually in a different house because at that point she just like owned a bunch of houses in the region, rich people problems. But at the very end of her life, she came back to the Winchester Mystery House and died in that house. And there was initially some thought they were going to maybe turn it into like, I don't know, like an amusement park, and they were going to like get a, Ferris wheel and have it kind of be this whole attraction. But ultimately they decided just like, let's open the doors to the house because people were so curious, like you said, like they were so curious to get inside that just opening the doors to the house, they could make a mint of money. So yeah.
Did she leave it to like the city of San Jose, or whose is it? Do you happen to know?
I don't know. That's a good question though. I believe so. Like what we reported was a couple purchased the house, so whoever she left it to would have immediately sold it. Yeah.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
Imagine buying that place. I guess you buy it to be like, let's not mess it up. Like, wow. Wow.
I can't believe we forgot to talk about the Los Feliz murder house, which is what American Horror Story's first season is based on.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, where this
Right.
doctor one night in the 50s in December came down and tried to kill his whole family, but only successfully killed his wife and just attacked his oldest daughter. And then the house was left as it was on that night. The surviving children moved back east with a family member, and then this was in the 50s, for until the last 7 or 8 years, it had been just left. It was purchased by another family. They never moved in and they never touched anything. They left everything as it was the night of the murder. And so it's this big mansion, Spanish style, beautiful. You could go peek in and see boxes in the kitchen, a Christmas tree that had been covered. It had just been left. And so people
were recently just got bought and I think is getting torn down. And
I've seen some pictures of them gutting it or something. So it's hard. I don't know what they're, but it was in disrepair in this beautiful mansion where you're one, the murder is weird, but then two, why did no one ever move it? They never moved in. A new family bought it and never touched it.
Why?
A mansion. Yeah, so weird.
Nasty.
All right. Nasty, but I think that it's a very, very neck and neck with spookiness of San Fran and Los Angeles for sure, or Bay Area.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you have time to listen to one of our listener stories?
Yes.
Right.
That sounds fun.
I'm gonna pull one right up.
All right, Betsy, Marcy, here's my story, and I am going to stay anonymous, so we can call me, how about Billy? But anyways, this is my story about how I think that my husband's ex-girlfriend was haunting my house and me. So, unfortunately, she passed away, and then my husband kept smelling her perfume in the house. I kept seeing things out of the corner of my eye. We also really started fighting, and we had never fought like this. And it was there was just this energy in our house, and it was I could just we have a dresser in our house that was hers, and then there are a couple pictures too. And so I thought if I blessed the house and took the pictures out, I mean, they were paintings, they were nice, so I kept them in there, but I took them down, I put them in the garage, I blessed the house again, I told her she had to leave, and just the other day, I swear, she's came back and I told her she had to go again. I was in a fight with my husband. Something stupid, not a big fight, just a bickering. And I'm on the phone and I hang up with my husband, and there's this picture on the wall that's attached by a 3M, one of those sticky, and then you pull it and it has Velcro on either side of it. And so this sucker got ripped straight off the wall. Somebody just took their hand, grabbed the corner of it, ripped it, and then threw it onto the ground. If it had fallen straight down, I would have thought the sticky got lost or the sticky was done. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like that. And then when I looked at the wall, the whole 3M thing was still there. And part of the cardboard from the picture frame was on the wall. It had been ripped with such force and thrown at such an angle that it actually made a little dent in my floor. I don't know how it didn't break. But yeah, you best know that I blessed my house again. I said I'm not going to put up with it anymore. So that should be that with that, Anywho, that's my story. Thank you. Bye.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, Billy.
I think give up on the blessings. It's time for an exorcism.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whew.
Wow. Yeah, what, like, because then is there also, like, do you be like, hey, listen, I'm sorry that you're not here, and then I'm with your man,
Yeah.
but you gotta be okay with this.
Yeah, but it's done.
But it's done.
Do you
I
think she
mean-
should get rid of the rest of the stuff?
Oh, man, maybe, honestly. Right?
I
She said
mean-
what? She still had a dresser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can invest in some new non-haunted furniture, right? Especially if she's causing. It'd be one thing if it's just like, oh, she likes to make herself known. But if you believe that she is like, you know, making you and your partner fight, then like, get the heck out of here, girl.
Yeah, let's get that dresser out of there. Let's get that art out of there.
And
No.
sounds violent too, like to leave a
Yeah.
dent on the floor.
Yeah, the ripping
Yeah.
it, like, it's one thing is like, oh, it falls or whatever, like humidity makes the thing unstick, but like to be ripped off, like it, this is no good. This is no good. We don't like
That ghost
her.
is working out her powers to then throw you out of bed to
Exactly.
the floor.
She's trying to get your man. No.
Yeah. No way. Wow. Yeah, get rid of that stuff.
I wonder what his take on it. Like, is it in line with who she was in life to be revengeful, maybe?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh man.
I do wonder also, yeah, like, is Billy being like, hey, man, I think your ex is really mad right now. Like, what
right.
do you do? And, like, I feel I would be like, hey, we got to get rid of this shit. This is bad.
Absolutely. Or do you think that that the husband is like, what can I say? I'm hard to get over, you know?
He's loving every minute of it. Like, hey, two ladies fighting over me.
Yeah.
Interdimensional, man.
Oh my God. What can you do when you're that kind of a guy? Oh man.
So wild.
I don't want anyone's ex coming around me, living or dead. Get away.
Get away.
Get away.
Ex, get out of here.
No, thank
Don't need
you.
it.
Well,
Oh,
it's
man.
interesting how there's like different types of ghosts, right? You have the like, you know, the family member ghost who wants to say something nice, say I love you one more
Yes.
time. You have the like, angry ex ghost who's like ripping stuff off your wall. Earlier we were talking about like a trickster ghost who's just kind of like, you know, a little bit of a
Just
class
kind of
clown.
messing around. Yeah.
They take
And it
all
is like
forms.
Marcy always reminds me of this and her listeners of like, oh yeah, there also were just people.
Yeah.
You know, like, or a lot of them. Sometimes they're not human, you know. But for the most part it is like, oh yeah, if this ex really was like maybe a jealous type or had like a fiery temper, then it's like, oh, okay, of course they're working on throwing stuff off the wall.
And maybe when nothing matters anymore, you're like, I'll have a little fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no consequences,
stuff.
right?
Just like
None
animals. They're just
whatsoever.
like animals. They can do whatever they want now because there's no rules and no laws.
Oh my God, Marcy, behind you, it's your cat.
I mean, truly.
With a knife.
Can't tell you how many times I've had Honey sneak out in the middle of like me recording to scare the hell out of me. Something's in here.
Too scary.
This has been so fun, Olivia. Tell everyone where to find your book and your podcast.
Yeah. So the podcast you can find wherever you listen to A Funny Feeling, just like search Bay Curious. We're probably there too. And the book is available at lots of Bay Area, like local bookstores. You can also find it online at like bookshop.org, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all those like big book retailers have it. And it's only a cool $15.95. So it makes like a nice little, little inexpensive purchase.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
This has been a pleasure.
So fun. Thank you both.
Oh, yeah. Thank thank you so much for listening to A Funny Feeling.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to share, please send us a voice memo, or you can email us just a letter at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com. I'm Marcy.
I'm Betsy, and don't shit your pants!
That was a HeadGum podcast.